welcome to the Indie Crew channel. I'm your host Ghost Waffles, and today we're going to be taking a look at a charming little game known as Beeny. It was developed by Cyactro and published by Diplodocus Games. You can find it on the Nintendo Switch or PC for the incredibly low price of 89p or 99 cents for those in America. Before I knew of this game, I originally already knew of some other games Cyactro had developed, including the Tory games and MapBat64, which I may make reviews on in the future, wink wink. However, when I heard that Cyactro had made this game, I just knew that I had to check it out. Beeny is a 2D vertical platformer where you play as Beeny, a round bee who is tasked by their friend Kiwi to collect special honey for them so that they can build a raft. As Beeny, you'll find yourself ascending upwards using various tree branches in order to reach the beehives at the top of the various levels. What I adore about this game is how it puts its own original spin on a 2D pixel platformer. It's not often that nowadays we get vertical platformers, so I admire that this game is able to stand out amongst these sorts of games. The controls are really simple, but they work, and that's good enough for me. The physics are kind of floaty, which did take me a second to get used to, but after a while it becomes completely natural, and in my opinion, makes the game stand out more. I'd even go as far as to say that it makes the game more entertaining. The art style here is so charming and memorable. The thing about the developer, Cyactro, is that he likes to take inspiration from old games and incorporate their styles into his own projects, and it's quite clear that this game is heavily inspired by the style of the Donkey Kong Country series. Not only does he manage to masterfully recreate this style, but he does so in a way that makes the game look so damn beautiful and detailed and delightful and appealing, and synonyms for beautiful. The music here is also really good, and I think each of the tracks manage to work really well with their theming. Here's 3 examples of my favourites. Something I also love about this game is the different theming of the levels. Whilst they are just rather generic forest themes, I still love how they're portrayed, from the colourful autumn levels to the vibrant jungle levels to the cosy snow levels. Oh yeah, and the theming of level 7's Silent Visitors caught me so off guard. Like, imagine for a second you're just playing a colourful, cutesy game, and then it just randomly decides to become horror themed. This level came out of nowhere, and even slightly freaked me out a little bit the first time I played it, just because of the contrast of it to the rest of the game. In addition to the theming, I also love the usage of different gimmicks. There's a wide variety of them which help to make the different levels unique, ranging from bouncy bees to tired bees that'll sink if you stand on them for too long, to moving walkways to little spiky guys that move horizontally. Even level 7 has its own gimmick with these spooky floating heads that'll chase you through the levels and send you back to a certain point if you get caught by them. However, there are certain things I feel that could be improved if the gimmicks worked another way. For example, the spiky guys I mentioned don't kill you if they hit you, they just knock you back. This is the same for the enemies in the autumn levels. This just removes a lot of the challenge, and in some cases, they knock me to places where I was trying to get to in the first place, so if anything, they sometimes made the game even easier, which brings me on to my main problem with this game. This game is just way too easy, and it feels like there isn't really all that much challenge. You can't die at all, and if you end up falling off a high up platform, you get caught by some bees who are just waiting a little bit underneath you, and you're able to continue on with the stage from where you were, which basically gets rid of all the challenge. If I was to try and improve on this issue, I would have definitely added difficulty options, with the game as it is now being the easy mode. Then, in the harder modes, we can get rid of the bees underneath you and have the stage hazards actually kill you and force you down to the bottom. Unfortunately, the game is also very short, with it only having 9 levels and 1 bonus level which we'll talk about later. It only took me around 15 to 20 minutes to complete the entire thing, but for a game of its price, this wasn't really a surprise to me, and to be honest, this isn't something that entirely bothers me all too much. It feels like one of those games where you can just randomly pick it up and play through the entire thing just to chill out for a bit. And honestly, I vibe with that. Luckily after the main game, there is some replay value. After you've beaten all the levels, you can return to Kiwi with the special honey, and you're given the short 3D collectathon platformer segment, which is apparently a teaser for another of Cyatro's games, Super Kiwi 64. You now also have access to an additional stage, which in all honesty, wasn't anything too special. It had a unique Christmas theming, but it played like every other level, and the soundtrack wasn't anything too memorable. In addition to this, you can now go back and replay every stage, and doing so in a certain amount of time will grant you a golden medal. I got all of these, and to be fair, it did add an additional challenge which made it more fun. It made the stage hazards from earlier actual hazards, because if I hit them, I risk getting a longer time. After getting all the medals, you can unlock Tori, an unlockable character who is a direct reference to Cyatro's Tori games. They play pretty much the same as Beeny, but a bit less floaty, and they can double jump. Unfortunately though, I feel like this inclusion of Tori is rather pointless since there's nothing else left to do beyond this point, so there isn't even a point in using Tori unless you just want to play through the game as them. And that just about wraps it up for my review of Beeny. I'll be giving this game a review score of 6 out of 10. Don't get me wrong, this game does have its flaws and I feel like there's a few aspects of it that could have been done far better, but for what it is, I think it provides a very enjoyable experience, even if it only lasts a very short amount of time. It's also clear from the art style and music and Donkey Kong Country inspiration that this game was made with a lot of passion, and it really does make the game that little bit more charming. If you're still watching, then thanks, it's truly appreciated. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Silver for the amazing thumbnail art. You can find their socials in the description. We also have a community Discord server full of a ton of welcoming and friendly people, so make sure to check that out. That'll also be linked below in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.